Okay, and there is really this my car's body, and look that I have connect this my car's real wheel using steel chains, that there is no any risk that this my system collapse to down. And there are those my fire extinguishers, and when we look in that area in here down, there is now hidden situation in this my car, that everything looks good in this side area, but when we go in here down area, there is hole. Look, there is corrosion hole in that area, and this is bad situation. Look, and now I have little bit already fixed that, and there is now about 1 foot hole in here, and let's go to look closer. Okay, and now we can see better this issue area, and it is really in here in that area, because this my car is Toyota RAV4. It throws this sandy rocks in this down area, and here is really, look, that big hole, and we can see in there inside, and I have already installed in here little bit my steel plates, and I have already welded these, look, in here, but there is this big area, and it was totally all material was away in here. And now I have installed in here a couple of steel plates, and soon I install in here 1 plate more, and you can see the idea that how we fix this hole, and also there is 1 cut that how we can weld these back areas like in good shape. Look, there is some kind of a crack in there, but I will fix that also. Great. And there is front tire in this Toyota RAV4 car, and there we can see this exhaust manifold in here. And I have already take away this propeller shaft, because I take those 2 bolts away. But this is another thing. But now let's look at how I firstly weld this area in fine, and then I install in here steel plate. You will see both things, and finally I will paint that in anti-corrosion paint, and I install in here this protective, this body paint also. Okay, let's go to forward then. Okay, and then we really need steel plate for these rusty holes, and now I recommend that we use very thick material. Here is like 1 excellent plate. This is Toyota's some engine support plate, and this thickness is about 5 mm. This is excellent stuff for these corrosion holes, and note that I use now very thick steel, and normally these Toyota's steel are 2 mm thick, but in my case this is about 3 to 4 mm steel and iron plate. And I have purchased these from Home Depot and hardware stores, and these cost about $5 per plate, and this is really iron steel plate what we use in like these home building materials and engines. And there are those plates, and soon I will cut these plates smaller one, but let's go to look at how I measure that what is my suitable amount of that steel. Now it's nicely, and now I do a little bit bigger joint in there that we can get better penetration. And note that I install this my nodes quite near, about ½ inches in this area, and then I press this trigger. Okay, firstly machine on. Okay, and now I really do small starting joint, and then I do this whole line, And note that this gap must be quite low, about 5 millimeters, because gas is going out. And now I do joint in here. Okay, and now I made a little bit bigger joint, and now we can think that now this my point and this connection and joint, now this is more durable, because I add in there huge amount of this material, and now this is really durable thing. And if I like to do in here extra joint in that area, then it is even more durable. And let's go to look that when I do that, I install firstly this minus cable in here, good, and then nice joint in here. And really keep this, when we are welding, keep this nozzle about 0.5 millimeters in this joint, and then move that rigger in that way. And this area must be directly in this joint. And let's go to look at how to do professional MIG MAG welding. Okay, and now I am planning to show you that how to do professional MIG MAG welding. 2 steel plates, thickness 3 millimeters, and let's look at how I managed to do that. Okay, and this was my joint. There was a little bit this is not the best one, but this is like starting thing. And now I have add in both sides, and now this connection, now this is quite durable joint, and we can go to test that how durable this my joint is. Okay, and now we are thinking that what kind of steel plate I install in this hole. And there is this my steel plate. This is like 20 centimeters, half feet. And my idea is to install these my plates in these holes in that way. Look, this goes nicely in here. Maybe a little bit too big, because these things must be in same plane. But this is idea in that way. And now this plate goes actually quite nicely in there, in this way. And I roll this in deeper. Now I think that this is very fine. And we can weld these things together. And this is the basic idea. Now I install here, look at how thick this is. I use very thick steel. We can compare in this original Toyota steel, what is like 1 millimeter, and now I install in here 4 millimeter steel. This is almost bulletproof. We need to assault rifle that we can bang through that steel, but I like heavy duty steels because then I have more durable car or SUV. But soon we have to weld that together, and for that purpose we need MIG MAG weld. Okay, and now I am very lucky because I have in here really high quality MIG MAG welding device, and this is like professional level stuff from Finland. This is Kemppi. This product, it makes the world best welding equipments, and this is really MIG weld, and this works so that firstly I have to only turn on this my device, and there we can see this type. It is indirect adaptive 170 model, and we go in this back area. There is this press button. Now power is on. This is so easy. There is this welding device, and there is this material, this welding wire. This is the stuff like glue, and then we go in this setting area, and this is really so computer welding device. This stuff cost about $200,000 per this unit, but we can rent this device, and it is about $40 per day. And this device, welding device, works really so easily that there is computer inside, and I need to only adjust these settings, and all of these settings works really well. This means that what kind of this joint it makes, and I like to prefer this central area, and there is this arrow that it makes that kind of welding joint. And then this one is the speed of this welding wire and cable, and this means that how big and how fast I add this welding steel glue to this joint. And I prefer these slow speeds like 0, 1.0 is fine, and if I have really thin plate, 4 is good. And this means that how much there is this material, and this is really easy. And then the final step is that because this is this MIG MAG weld, we need some kind of protective gas. And now I have this argon gas in here. This is compressed car argon is this type, and it is like green bottle, and we can purchase this in USA. And then we open this argon gas so that there is this valve in that way. I open that, and then we only check that we have these pressures in on. Now we can see there is pressure in this hose, and this hose sends this gas inside that machine, and after that it goes through this hose to this my welding device, that one. And then I need to only press this device, and wire comes out in that way. Look, this is so easy. This MIG MAG welding is so easy and so nice to work. And for that we have this contact, there is idea that this is like minus cable and this is like plus cable. And when these two parts takes contact, we have spark and joint. And now I press this trigger, and you can see it in here sparking. And that's how this works. Okay, it is so nice. And now when we have this argon gas, this nozzle is always like clean. And now I cut this my steel plate, and now I can take this away. And then we go to weld this my area. This is so easy. Okay, and now we have very nice view in here, and now I am planning to add this my steel plate in here, in that way. And for that connection I need my welding device. And this is, I think that this is nice area to install in that way, this part. And firstly, I have to install this my minus cable. Okay, and I have to install this minus cable in here, and there must to be direct contact between the steel plates. And now I believe that this is right, because this welding is like installing glue by steels. And then, by the way, when we are trying to weld these things, we need also this protective mask. Look, this is mandatory. We need to like this eyeglasses, but this is really welder's mask, and this is mandatory because this fire is so light and powerful that it harms and damages our eyes, and that's we have to use this protective mask. And soon we can look closer at that, and we need really welder's mask. It looks like that, and I have really professional Kemppi mask, and this protects my eyes, and use always this one. And now I install my mask in my head, and soon we weld this area. And I take my welding things, and now when I press this red trigger, this welding, this wire goes in here, and soon we have welding in here. Okay, and use okay, and now there is now a nice starting point, and then I add in here a little bit this glue weld. It is like steel. Okay, and this is really 2000 Fahrenheit hot. It is extremely hot. And now I add a little bit more in here. This is so easy. In here, in that area. And the thing is that when we look this area through this mask, it is really easy. Let's look. Okay, and now I will show that what this looks like. There is this my welding mask, and normally I install that in this way, and we look through this hole. And now when I focus this area in here, and then we look in that area, we can see that what happens in there. And this idea is to look through that mask. It is so easy, and this is really automatic. And let's look closer. Okay, and now we can see this result, and then we can look even closer. Okay, and now we can look closer at what this welding looks like. And I add glue and this weld in here, in this area. Okay, good. And then a little bit more in that area. Okay, and this information was like basic to you, and this really I have to sand later this extra welding area spots away, but this is the basic idea, and we only need this minus and then this plus cable. And now this my steel plate, it is really tight in there. So this one, and now I add in here more plates, and then this my hole is soon away.